Investing 101, going back to the basics. The NSE 20 index is on a 10-year low. We are seeing the entire market trading at 10 times with regards to its price to earnings ratio, actually. So the last time we saw this, it's really been a very long time since we saw this. It's been trading at highs of about 13 to 15. It's up to you to decide whether it's a buy opportunity or if you actually think the bottom is not yet sighted. But for us today, we're beginning to actually see some interesting stock opportunities that are coming out. However, we want to go back to the basics. What does it mean to actually invest on the NSE, and what triggers and data points do you need to be looking out for? Mr. Robert Yawe is a financial literacy coach. He's our guest for the day, and he'll be helping us understand and actually answer some of these questions. Robert, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
All right, interesting. I don't know if you've heard about Rentco, which has a newly listed with regards to the incubator the incubator program at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Have you heard about it? What did you think of their financials?
They're interesting.
Okay.
I think that sudden spike in 2015.
Yes, there was a sudden spike.
Which is a bit concerning because I'm trying to think, or did they sell off?
Okay, it could be a sell-off because it doesn't explain why you have a huge jump. Yeah. Okay.
And if such a large customer could walk away from the leasing option.
That's true.
It's a green.
That's a very good point. We certainly need to be able to get management here with us to help us understand. But what are your general thoughts before we get into the investment 101? Do you think the Ibuka program is worthwhile? What do you think about it? We have 17 companies there.
Can I pass on answering that question?
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. I will leave that at that. So today we are all talking about the NSE 20-year index at a 10-year low. It could be a buying opportunity. It could be not a buy opportunity. It could actually be a reason to sell. Maybe there's worse to come. But really, we don't want to answer that. We just wanted to remind ourselves, when you're looking at the NSE, what are you looking out for? And what are your sentiments with regards to what's happening on the Nairobi Securities Exchange?
I think one thing we all forget is that when there's a selling taking place, there's definitely a buying taking place.
That's very true.
So the market is a two-sided market. Nothing sells without somebody buying it.
Yes.
So it's not like the NSE has stock of shares.
Yes.
No. So the question becomes is, why is it that the market is not becoming vibrant?
That's true.
Yes.
Okay.
And it seems more of, I think maybe we need to look at it against volume. Because based on volume, the volumes are extremely low.
They are low. They're about 22% lower than they were last year,
yes.
actually.
So now the question we need to ask ourselves is, why is it that we are not able to grow volume?
Okay.
Yet we say we have what, 1.4 million CDS?
Yes, 1.4 million CDS. Do you think this 1.4 million CDS account holders are all active?
They're not. I have a feeling it's less than 10%.
It's less than 10% that are active.
The question now becomes, we brag to have the most vibrant stock market in the region.
Yes.
So why is it that us as the proverbial Wanjikos and the rest are not seeming to come into the stock market? So
if they're not coming, then where are they going to?
I think we're buying a lot of, maybe now without the betting companies, we should see an increase in where we put our money, because it seems we're losing out on that part of it.
Okay, so there are other asset classes that are other asset classes that are attractive.
Yes.
But what's the attraction? Is the yield an attraction, or is everybody just doing what the next person is doing?
I don't think we educated the common person on what the stock market is. We mistakenly made them believe that the stock market and 50 by 100 plots are the same. 50 by 100 plots.
But you're an African, you must own some art somewhere.
Why?
Why not? That's what our forefathers have taught us. I mean, they fought for the country.
But do you know why we had land? Because it was a factor of production.
Yes, it was. But what makes you? Why are you saying that it's not a factor of production?
Today, it no longer is.
It's an investment, a speculative investment.
It's not even a speculative. It's basically emotional.
Okay.
Yes.
I must have my quarter acre somewhere.
And I suspect what we are doing is we're obsessed with burial land.
Okay.
Yes. Because why do you need a 50 by 100 piece of land?
No, you really don't. And unless you're going to build something and add value to that piece of land, then it could be your money is actually lying idle. Yeah. Okay.
My grandfather held on to 20 acres.
20 acres.
So why would I buy a 50 by 100 if my grandfather owned 20?
Your father could afford 50. 20. There was that opportunity.
No, he's part of the problem because they chopped up the 20 to smaller
pieces. Now you should. I like that element that you're saying if your grandfather had 20, then really you should be looking out for 50. which means that you're actually saying that in as much as our forefathers were investing in land, then we need to evolve and move to the next investment asset class.
Exactly.
So what's the next investment asset class outside of land?
For us here right now is income real estate.
Okay.
Not home ownership real estate. We're looking at income real estate.
Okay.
And not only residential.
All right.
Commercial, schools. We're looking at Rentco.
Rentco. Yes, we're looking at Rentco.
Rentco are telling you don't own.
Exactly.
So why is it that our schools own land?
That's a very good
own their property.
Yes.
Our hospitals own their property. Our hospitals, our clinics, our restaurants. Why are we obsessed with owning? So the question is, I think Rentco becomes a very good example of, if we monitor them and we see a growth, then our mindset is changing.
Okay.
If my grandfather had 20 acres of land and collected, let's assume, $1 million a year.
Yes.
In returns from his coffee, his tea, and the rest, my investment that I go into should be able to do 10 or 20 times more than what my grandfather's investment.
And really, you should be adding value to the coffee and not just selling it the same way it was being sold. So do you think equities today as they stand would be a potential asset class or a different way of adding value to your own portfolio as an individual?
So long as you understand it. The reason we buy land is because we understand land.
Okay. What's that to understand about land? You go buy land, sign it.
You buy it, the price goes up, you sell it.
Okay.
If you're lucky.
Okay.
Okay. And we need to look at shares the same way as the fellow who buys 10 acres in Kitengela, Kisajo, or wherever, subdivides it into smaller pieces, is not looking at dividend return.
Yes.
He's looking at capital gains.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's very true.
Okay. So I think what we need to start doing is showing people the relationship.
Okay.
Now, when I buy the 50 by 100, why am I buying it? Am I buying it for capital gains or for dividend?
Dividend being that, do I want to put up maybe a set of apartments?
Yes.
That can give me a return every year. Okay.
And if we look at, then when we look at that, because we need to move people from what they know to what they don't.
Okay.
So we need to do that relationship. So if I'm going to buy shares, why am I buying? Am I buying for capital gains or am I buying for dividend?
Okay.
So if I'm buying for dividend, I'm least concerned about what the NSE 20, the NSE 50, or the all-share index is doing.
Yes.
What I'm concerned about is, of the holdings in my portfolio, am I getting a return better than the alternative investment?
Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
But if I'm looking at it in terms of capital gains, then I should be crying when
if
you
the
now
market
tell
is
me.
coming down, if it's on a 10-year low, I should be very concerned.
I should be very concerned.
Okay.
So you ask the question, should I buy now or sell?
Okay, before you answer that, Robert, the market has just closed. Hold on to that thought. We take a very short break. NSC has closed. Look out for the closing bell.